Salvete omnes. This is Review 8, chapters 29 through 32. This is drill on forms D. We're going to translate the following Latin verbs into English. It may help to parse out the Latin verb first before deciding upon an English translation. So, number 1, impediebant. So, impediebant, you can tell by the unt personal ending, that's third person plural. Ba is the tense marker for the imperfect tense, and then impedie is the present stem of impedio, impedire, impedivi, impeditus, to hinder or impede. So third person plural is they, tense marker imperfect, so that's was, were in English, and then hindering. They were hindering. They used to hinder or block, impede. 2, dormiam. So dormiam, that's the first person singular, present stem, so this is the future tense. Es et, amos etis ent, on the present stem of dormio, dormire, dormivi, dormitus, to sleep. I will sleep. I shall sleep. Muniverant, that's going to be third person plural, unt, the pluperfect tense marker, the ending is erant, on the perfect stem of munio, munire, munivi, munitus, to fortify or to build. So muniverant, they had built, they had fortified. Audiuntur, so untor is the third person plural present passive, and audi is the present stem. So untor, they add the u between the present stem and the ending. So audiuntur is third person plural present passive of audio, audire, audivi, auditus. Not they hear, but they are heard. They are being heard. They're being listened to. Venerent. So erent is the third person plural, and that's the future perfect active ending on venio, venire, veni, macron over the e, ventus. So this is venerent. So they will have come. Future perfect. They shall have. Inquit. Inquit is stands in for the Romans quotation marks because they didn't have punctuation. It is a defective verb. It only has a few forms. This inquit is either he, she, it says, he, she, it said, quoth he, she, it. This is the verb that is used when a direct quotation is given, when the exact words of a speaker are given, with quotation marks. Potuisti. This is the second person singular, isti, on the perfect stem of possum, posse, potui. So you, second person singular, you were able. You once were able. You have been able. At one point, you were able. Different from the imperfect poteros, which would be imperfect, continuous, habitual action in the past. You used to be able for a while. You were, as opposed to you once were. Convenimus. Now, make sure you note the macron over the e, convenimus. If it were convenimus, without the macron over the e, that would be the present tense, because it would be the present stem conveni of convenio, convire, conveni, conventus. So the present stem is conveni, and when you add the mus, first person plural, you get we come together, we gather. Now, if there's a macron over the e, then it's the perfect stem conven, and then you add imus, the perfect tense, e isti it, imus istis era, to get convenimus. Convenimus and convenimus. This is the perfect tense, so we gathered. We have come together. We have convened. Afuit, third person singular, perfect tense of absum, abesse, afui, afuturus. So there's the perfect stem afu and then it. He, she, it was away. He, she, it has been away. Munitasunt, from munio, munire, munivi, munitus, to fortify or build. It's the fourth principal part, munita, from munitus aum. That A ending, you could be feminine at first, but when you look at how sunt is plural, this would be I, munitai sunt, if it were feminine plural, munitai with an AE. This is munita sunt, so this is plural neuter. So perfect tense, because of the sunt, they, the things, neuter things, were fortified, have been fortified. It's probably castra, which is always plural, always neuter, the camp. So castra munita sunt, the camp has been fortified. Ad erimus. Erimus, you can see the future first person plural of sum, so we will be, and then ad. Ad esse, ad sum, ad esse, ad fui, ad futurus. We will be there. We will be present. We will be at hand. Will be there. 12. Pervenerunt. Pervenerunt. Now, that macron over the E tells us we're working with the perfect stem perven. Now that ending erunt, there's also a macron over that E, so the accent always goes there. This is the perfect tense, third person plural, perfect active. So they arrived. They have arrived. Inventus erat. So inventus erat, the fourth principal part of invenio, invenire, inveni, inventus. Inventus, so masculine singular, inventus. And erat is the helping verb for the pluperfect passive. Inventus erat, he had found. I'm sorry, he had been found. He had found would be active. He had been found is passive because it happened to him. He had been found. Dormire, that is the present active infinitive, to sleep. Second principal part. Translation, to sleep. It is the act of sleeping. Sleeping is good. Bonum est dormire. Venietis ne? Venietis ne? The ne, the enclitic ne on the end of this word makes this a question. So venietis ne, yes or no question. Venietis is second person plural. Future, it's the future. Etis, am es et etus. Am es et amus etis ent. So the present stem veni and then etis, venietis ne. Second person plural, future, active, indicative. Will ye come? Will y'all come? Yes or no? Optime, that wraps it up for drill on forms D. You are now ready to move on to drill on forms E.